10 minutes, sir. Ten minutes, my man.
I'm gonna jump in.
Okay.
We can do it again.
Oh yeah, okay, that may not be. Well, let me get a clean shot of him walking still. A little bit closer to me.
What is that in here?
Yeah. That's ideal.
We'll come find it. Sorry, man. Sorry about that.
How are you? Finally. You can put it in the face. Yeah, first. Nice to meet you.
Got a camera behind you.
And now, I want to do from Ottawa. All right. Passing you this torch of life, which you richly deserve to receive. And it's more than just the trek from Ottawa, you know, over the past 11 years. The sun has been very It's getting a little bit better.
Gentlemen, let's do that handshake again if you would.
What do you want to do?
And you can look at each other, that's good. Stand apart, just a little bit apart, Kevin. There we go, and look at each other, that's alright.
Our truck that you see over here was going into a ditch, and I heard it.
Just smile for a sec, just nice smiles, you guys.
And I turned around and twisted my knee as I turned around. Yeah, so it's never been the same since.
So how many kilometers now do you run?
500 on this one.
Really?
Yeah. Tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow. Yeah, today I just officially entered Toronto, and then I'm going to pass it to, which is good in case you might need to get a camera. I'm going to be going to it, and all the kids are coming out, pass it to the kids that run at 9:30 a.m. Down Jane, and then across Blue, and then to Queen's Park. Okay, perfect.
Did you guys need it?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, maybe this will work. I'm going to close this door for me. We don't get other people.
Giggles.
Giggles, yeah, giggles aren't good. Just trying to think of where I want to shoot. This would be nice. Okay.
All ready?
Yes.
Set. Doing our thing.
Guys got the same cameras.
Mm-hmm.
They think it's only small packages.
Okay, and whenever you're ready.
So George, can you tell me about this trip and how you got inspired to do it?
Actually, 3 months ago, our chairperson over at Step by Step, Constable Ojo Tiobati, approached me and asked me if there was any way I can put sickle cell disease on the map. And at that point, I already knew what he was talking about because the disease hasn't gotten any profile over the number of years that they've tried to. So I came up with a campaign called the Sickle Cell Torch of Life Run. And what we done, Kevin, was we lent our charity, Step by Step, and the famous Torch of Life to bring more profile to sickle cell disease. And the main focus of this campaign was to bring comprehensive care for sickle cell disease. For a number of years now, it has not been recognized as a legitimate disease here in Canada. And there's been efforts that have gone really like fruitless over the years. And by organizing a 17-day, 500-kilometer torch run, it started as a run, from Parliament Hill to Queen's Park, symbolically, we would get the federal government's attention as well as the province of Ontario's attention, and we did. There's a bill that got tabled at Parliament Hill by MP Kirsty Duncan. It's called C-605, and in that bill, it brings home what we're trying to do. It asks for our Canadian government to bring comprehensive care to sickle cell disease. And as we've been going from community to community, we've been recruiting not only the media and the public, but also all the mayors from each of the 16 communities that we stopped off in. And in turn, they're recruiting all the MPs and MPPs in their area to support Bill C-605. And also, there's a conference coming up here in Toronto. It's called the Roma Conference, the Municipality Conference. Mayor Dennis Staples from Smith Falls is championing sickle cell disease at the conference by bringing it as his main issue. And he will be the person that's going to try and recruit all the municipalities to support Bill 605, and plus he's planning to sit down with Health Minister Deborah Matthews in London at the London conference in August to see if possibly the province of Ontario could adapt a similar bill as the federal bill C-605 and maybe have a more speedier passage in Ontario.
Okay, can you tell me what sickle cell is?
Bear with me for a sec, sorry.
It's okay.
Just need to turn my volume up a little bit. That was one long
Sorry,
one-liner.
I just, because I kind of can anticipate some of
Not
the
at all.
other
No,
questions.
no,
If you don't
very
mind,
well.
Kevin,
Very
if
well.
that's okay.
Absolutely. And sorry, repeat the question, Kevin, please.
Can you tell us what sickle cell disease is?
Basically, it's a blood disorder. And in a sickle cell, the cells are formed like sickles. And it's inherited when two members are carrying the trait, and it's 1 out of 6 chances that the person will be infected. So people are carrying this trait and never will have to suffer, but the child that's born from 2 parents that are carrying it could have devastating effects on that child's life. And the disorder gets worse depending on different circumstances. Sometimes as children, they're dying off from the disease, and sometimes it springs more intensively when they're adults. But it's a deadly disease that kills, and there is treatment for it, but one of the lifesavers for sickle cell is the fact that a bone marrow transplant can save a sickle cell person's life. And that's the other relationship, that step by step, and the other reason why Step by Step decided to take on this project.
Because step by step is about information.
That's correct, and tissues. Just a little brief history on the bone marrow transplants concerning sickle cell. It's relatively new. The first one here in Canada was actually performed at sick kids just a few years ago, and it's been recognized by the entire international community as a life-saving procedure and a very successful one. So, but the problem is most countries are not putting sickle cell as a disease on their world bone marrow registry. So in other words, Canada, if you look at the one match, they have a lot of diseases listed there, including leukemia, and you know, where bone marrow transplants can save their lives, but you don't see sickle cell. So part of this campaign is to also raise the awareness level that sickle cell should be put on every country's registry when it comes to bone marrow transplants, because doctors every day can search that registry to see if there's a match and therefore save their patient's life. And we need more people to register as bone marrow donors, just as we need more people to register as organ donors.
That's great, thank you.
Can you ask another question, and I'll get you on just a clip of you? Do you mind?
I've got a stand-up for you after.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I've just got to read it over a few times.
I'm just wondering how to break, because I've done 3 different clips
Okay.
of George. Maybe if it's just you writing, how about that? Just, yeah, just, I'll do a shit.
Okay, who typically gets this disease?
It's mostly the black population that gets it. And the most often question I was asked, Kevin, was, why is a white guy doing this then? I mean, that's a fair question. My answer was, I don't really see any color. I mean, people are suffering just like they're suffering with other diseases. So to me, that's how I see it. And so to know that if it's people are stereotyping this, well, here's a white guy that just walked or ran or hobbled 500 kilometers, you know, to help these people. So I'm hoping that helps people's perception of this. You know, helps eliminate that barrier. Do you know what I mean? Like
Right.
that it's a black disease and therefore let the blacks take care of it, sort of thing.
Okay. Are you good?
Yeah.
Excellent.
You're good.
Perfect. You're good.
You're good. Dude.
Very, very well spoken. You made our job quite simple.
Kevin, sorry.
Oh, wait. Wait.
Yeah,
If you wanna
this
add
is really
something.
important because I really got to say something about the son and Kevin, and it's really coming from my heart because I was really looking forward to arriving here today, and you know,
I'm ready.
the Toronto Sun has been covering my story and step-by-step story now for the past 14 years, ever since we started that first campaign, that walk from Toronto to Ottawa back in '97. And there's been countless stories that Toronto Sun did, covering all the campaigns that we've done. We've done 8 campaigns, including the very famous story, or 2 famous stories. The first was on June 20th, 2000, when I set off to do the 12,000 trek across Canada, and Mayor Lastman was washing my feet to get me off to a good start. You guys took a photo of that with him washing my feet, and that was the very first step, and that was the very first time the torch of life got lit. And then the Toronto Sun was the very first media outlet to cover the story when the Pope asked us to bring the torch to Rome so he can bless it. It was the Toronto Sun that first published that story. And you know, I've over the years I've worked with both you gentlemen and many other reporters and photographers, and over the years, and I owe them all a big thanks because all the stories were done so beautiful, and I'm sure lives were saved because of your stories, and there's testament to that. And also I owe one big thanks to Kevin Han, who always was there to write the story and assign a reporter to it. So thank you so much, Kevin Han. Thank you so much, Toronto Sun. And also I want to acknowledge that these 2 gentlemen over here, Shane Gentles, and this is Don Moreland. They were with me from the start 17 days ago, and they've been filming me, and they've been risking their lives doing it in the cold. And I'm hoping that after they produce their documentary, that you know, we can get it promoted, because I think they're going to have a really important story to share with not only Canadians but possibly the world.
Thank you very much. Beautiful. Good.
That was good.
Okay.
That was good.
everybody at Omni too that they've been there for me. Okay, you guys, thank you. Sure.
With the torch, perfect. Test mic 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, test mic 1, 2.
Oh, this is something.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
This way, Huey? Here?
Back. Okay.
Tell us what's
Yes, I was approached by our chairperson, Constable Ojo Tiobati, a few months ago to do something to put sickle cell on the map. And so I organized a 17-day torch run from Parliament Hill to Queen's Park. And as you can see, I'm hobbling because I twisted my knee along the way, but I didn't miss one step. And we didn't miss one scheduled meeting with the mayors and the MPPs and the MPs. And so as a result of this 17-day, 500-kilometer journey, we're hoping that it will spark Canadians to understand how important sickle cell is, the disease, and that it needs comprehensive care. What we're hoping, Giorgio, is that Bill C-605 that was tabled by MP Kirsty Duncan a month ago at Parliament Hill will be passed. And because that, if it's passed, it brings comprehensive care to sickle cell.
What is sickle cell? Why is it important to make people aware of this disease?
Sickle cell is almost like a cousin of leukemia. You know, leukemia affects a lot of Italians and Europeans. And also sickle cell affects some Italians. I know some Italians that have sickle cell disease. It's a blood disorder. And, you know, you die from it. And what can save a person's life is a bone marrow transplant, just like leukemia. You know all the stories we did with people that were suffering with leukemia. And we can do the same for people suffering with sickle cell. So if more people register as bone marrow donors on onematch.com, and remember that beautiful story you did, we can get more people's lives saved for sickle cell as well.
Let's remember that it's easy. What's the percentage?
Just go to onematch.ca, and there's 3 easy steps there to register. You know, we did that beautiful thing for Matteo Lombardo that time, you know, with the swabs. You just do 4 samples of swabs, mail them in, then you're registered. 3 easy steps. And so, you know, we're hoping we can get more people to register and comprehensive care can come to sickle cell disease. There is no real concrete number because they don't have the funds or research to find out how many people are sick or carrying it, or, you know, because there's no clinics. The only care that's off General Hospital, which isn't enough. So that's why we're asking for comprehensive care, because we believe there's tens of thousands of people that are afflicted with this. And you know, it's not just mainly the black community, but it also spreads Asian and Southern Mediterranean.
Giorgio, ora tu hai camminato per 500 km, 12 giorni, dato l'ora di Spagna. Raccontaci e perché lo stai facendo.
Io faccio questo corso, abbiamo comprehensive care per sickle cell disease, and a disease che è vicino leukemia.
Una malattia vicina alla leucemia, no?
Yeah, un cugino di leukemia. E questa disease i gente morono you know, so che faceva di 17 giorni che camminavi, prima scappavi, però poi camminavi. You know, I wish, I pray that comprehensive care, Bill C-605, gets passed.
Quindi hai percorso 500 km. 500 anche per questa malattia, perché la gente aiuta. Allora, quanto hai camminato, George, perché questa malattia, cosa deve fare la gente?
Io camminavo 500 km aiuti gente che con questa malattia, 500 km camminavo io con questa malattia.
Per combattere questa malattia la gente può fare, come può fare che cosa?
I gente facciano onematch.ca e faccio la stessa cosa che facciamo per Matteo Lombardo. Un giorno si manca.
Può donare il sangue, il midollo osseo, può fare una prova con lo sguardo in bocca, cosa deve fare?
Sì, con la swab della bocca e dopo, that's it. Quando viene un giorno che tu sei quello che aiuta qualcuno, dopo si manca l'osso e il sangue. E dopo mezz'ora tutto cosa fatto.
Quindi è importante aiutare per aiutare la gente che soffre per le malattie, per i familiari, giusto?
Sì, questo è giusto. Abbiamo aiutato tutti i gente che non solo con gli organi, ma pure con malattie come queste qua. Tutti quanti si aiutano.
Grazie.
Grazie Omni, grazie a te.
Grazie, thank you very much. Facciamo, no? I can shake in the past. Shake it.
Thank you.
You want to have? Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. You want to have him? Only him walking together, like he's talking to me.
Yeah, sure. So let's start from down there and walk forward.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah?
let's
Yeah.
start. Now maybe he can.
I will hold up for you.
Yeah.
Gentlemen.
No, how many people?
We can do it again. Ready? Okay, rolling.
Oh, with you guys. Okay, he's gonna get you guys in there. Like, how you guys would normally.
Part of the story.
Okay.
Do that. Just be
So
running.
whatever you guys
I'm
would
gonna
want
set up and then we'll walk
to
out.
Just in a second.
Yeah. Okay.
Send me a ping.
All right.
It's gonna be three of us, okay? George and me and you. So is that okay?
Yeah.
All right.
I gotta get a nice cappuccino.
All right.
2 days after I started.
So roughly.
About 14 days ago, when I was in Carlton Place. No, it's not in there, but it's in the press release. Yeah, if you go.
Get rejected.
Okay, good. Because all the information is there, and so
Add this. Give me a second. Just sure.
No problem.
Thanks a lot. Just the mic.
No problem.
I open it.
Yeah, so this is, Sickle Cell Mania. It's very informative, this brochure. It talks everything about it, as we were handing these out throughout everywhere. Like we handed out thousands of these pamphlets along the way. Part of the campaign.
And you started where exactly?
Parliament Hill, February 1st.
Perfect. Okay, George. You're unstoppable, unbreakable, George.
All right.
Very good. George, thank you. That's a ciao. Ciao. Thanks for it.
So we're good?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right, good looking.
Thank you. I'll take
We're good then?
George, ci fai sapere? Vado a fare l'ingresso e lui, thank you.
Okie See, we're good. We get our wire.
Hey, give my best to Pierluigi, please. Give him a hug for me.
Yeah, we were told that you'd be here around 3:50, so I was here looking for
sorry.
you, and I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah,
and then I got a text message. Giorgio is with George in the lobby. Well, we have a camera operator called George.
Oh.
So I didn't know. Okay, is it for me? Is it for George? Am I supposed to go there? Like, too many Georges.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Oh, good luck.